Hello, everybody. It is Friday, June the 7th, 2024, and it's time for a brand new episode of AMA Air. Coming up today, we're going to preview the National Fun Fly coming up later this month.
I have a story from Torrey Pines and the Hobie Hawk celebrating its 50th anniversary.
And we've got a brand new addition to the National Model Aviation Museum that you're going to be very interested to hear about. We'll tell you about that, all that and more, coming up today on AMA Air. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of AMA Air. My name is Matt Ruddick.
Hi, guys. I'm Lee Ray. Thanks for joining us.
Lee, how's it going down there in Texas, sir?
It's better. It's better. It seems like every time we start this conversation, it's like bad weather, there's a flood, there's fire, there's ants, there's locusts, whatever. No, we're doing much better. How about you?
You know what? Things are good here in Indiana. Weather's looking really nice. A little windy, but the temperatures are good, and it feels a whole lot like summer. So that's what I'm here for.
Well, keep the temperatures calm and cool for me, because I'm seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Yes, that's right. We're going to tell you guys all about that here in just a little bit. But first, here in Indiana, we just finished the month of May, which is a very special time for me. And I just wanted to let you guys know we had a very nice time out at the Speedway for the Indianapolis 500 this year. Lee, you've got to get up here and get to a race. You've talked about it a lot, but we got to get you up here for a race one time.
I should. We've had a downtown race years ago, and then there's a racetrack in Fort Worth. So I haven't been to a race in many eons. So yeah, I should. But tell me more about your.
Yeah, it's the Indy 500, and we're just going to touch on this briefly, guys. We'll get to the modeling here in just a second. But hey, you know what? Month of May is a big deal to me and the folks here in Indiana.
It's your show too.
It was a great time. We had some weather issues. The race was delayed by about 4 hours, which made for a really long day for me. I got to the track around 3:30 in the morning and didn't actually get to leave the track until close to 11 o'clock that night. So it made for a rather long day, but it was great. We got the race in, and it was an exciting one. It's always nice when there's some exciting passing and things going on. So we had a good time. It was fairly quiet in my section of the track. I shoot out in turn 3. But all in all, it was a good time. We did have one kind of accident during qualifications that I did catch. Renus VK hit the wall pretty good there in turn 3. But other than that, it was a pretty uneventful time over in turn 3 on race day. The other end of the track had quite a few things happening, but not so much for us. So. But it was a good time. I had a great time. The place was packed. There were tons of fans there, and it was a great race, and that's all we could ask for. So,
well, good. I know it's a passion
until
of yours.
Next year. Yes, it is. It's a good time.
Before I let you go, did you have new equipment this year? Did you have new camera gear this year, or were you using old reliable?
Old reliable. I get asked this question quite a bit from folks. What I use to shoot out there. I'm a Sony shooter. So I use Sony A7 IVs and some Sony lenses, and Sony's been very good to me as far as their equipment and how well they've been holding up. So,
well, you know what? I'll tie in the RC here. So for those of you who are questioning or have questions about Sony equipment, there's your guy. There's your guy right there. Feel free to reach him on our contact page on modelaircraft.org, because I get that question asked all the time when I'm at events, and I've had several sit downs with people, looking at my Canon equipment, asking me questions, and that's something we all share. The passion for aviation photography. So. And there's so many correlations too between photography for motorsports and sports in general, and photography for air modeling. I use the same equipment for both, and they're suited very well for both. I've made the comment before that in many ways, shooting
things that we do in our hobby is a little bit, maybe even a lot of bit harder than what I shoot, out of the speedway with cars doing, 230 miles an hour. Oftentimes, I have a more difficult time capturing, control line speed is a great example of that. Because they're smaller, they're going just about as fast, and I'm a little bit closer, so it makes it a little tougher.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm going to if you go to modelaircraft.org/podcast, Matt, you interviewed me and Jennifer on episode 88, Air Modeling Photography. So tune into that, because I know you touch on some other photography tips. So throwing that in there last minute, but it was a lot of fun chatting with you about that. And I know some of you it's summertime. There's a lot of events. I got Air Venture coming up, got the Fun Fly. I'm getting my camera gear ready. You guys are as well, I'm sure.
Did we have David Hart on that episode too, I think?
And David Hart. Well, yeah, I think he was on that show.
Yeah,
he put me to shame.
Well, first of all, he is a fantastic photographer. He is amazing. Not taking anything away from you and Jenny. You guys are both great too. But I want to make sure I put that out there, because he's had many a cover on the cover of Model Aviation. Some of his stuff just actually blows me away. So, but that was a great conversation. I loved, yeah, exactly. There you go. There's one right there. I loved having that conversation with you guys. I actually forgot all about that episode. You just brought that up, but it was a great time having that conversation. I love talking photography with people. And if you guys have questions, throw them my way. Matt R. at modelaircraft.org. I'll be happy to answer any of those types of questions you want. If you got questions about Canon gear, you could talk to Lee. That's what he should. I used to shoot Canon, to be fair. I switched over 7 or 8 years ago, but Canon still got some good stuff too. So
they do.
Yeah.
So thanks for that little moment of our time. I love these times with you, Matt, where we just kind of have a nice little chat. That was great, and it had aviation tied into it.
And there you go. So speaking of aviation, and speaking of having a great time, as I did out at the Speedway this month of May, we're going to have some fun of our own here at the International Air Modeling Center in Muncie later on this month with our National Fun Fly. If you guys have been to the National Fun Fly in the past, you're going to notice that this year is going to look a little bit different. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on that you haven't seen before. And to tell you a little bit about that, we decided to bring on a very special guest today. He's kind of leading our efforts in the planning for this year's National Fun Fly. He is our AMA Foundation Director, Mr. Steve Haston. I'd like to welcome him to the show. Steve, hello, sir. How are you today?
Hey, I'm well, Matt. Thank you very much. And hi, Matt and Lee both, and all the members out there watching. Thank you for having me.
Steve, this feels vaguely familiar. Vaguely familiar. For those of you who may watch RC Roundtable podcast, we had Steve on our show discussing the Fun Fly because the RC Roundtable gang is going up there. So, Steve, you shared a lot of information. I feel like I'm ready for this interview now that we had our rehearsal, last week. So, I'll let Matt ask you lots of questions.
That's awesome. Yeah, my second one. I feel like I'm an old hat at this now, but yeah.
Well, let's first start with the National Fun Fly. What is the National Fun Fly, Steve? What are we looking at here? What's the purpose of this event, and what are you looking to share with the community by holding this event?
Yeah, well, thank you. There's really two parts to this Fun Fly for 2024, and when the foundation was approached to help be a part of the planning effort, we were excited to take that on, and I really have to thank the whole team here at the AMA. I mean, Matt, you're on the planning team, Lee, and it's really come together. It wouldn't have come together without all of your help and guidance as we go through that. But the two parts. The first part is, as it's always been, it's a fun fly for our members. So we want to make it it's a special weekend. We get together. I'm a pilot as well. I like to fly, control line, RC, and all those things. So it's just an opportunity for us to have camaraderie, to enjoy the the thrill of flight and doing all of that as we've done in the past. And we will have that open flying. We've doubled the number of Fun Fly registrations this year than what we've done in the past. So we really are going to, pack that field with some thrilling flights. But we have, special things laid out for the pilots. We have a pilot's lounge this year. Of course, the pilot giveaway will continue to be, a focal point. Thanks to so many of our, wonderful sponsors and partners. We have a nice layout for the food trucks and all of that, and an amazing swap shop that will be happening here on Site 3 for the Fun Fly. And, we're just really excited about that. That's part number one of that. Part number two is, as you said, the things you'll see new. We're going to utilize the entire 1,100 acres of the beautiful IAC and all the flying fields from the museum end all the way to Site 4. And at the beginning of the entrance, we will have, well, first off, let me say that's because we're opening it up to support the mission of the AMA, and that is to inspire the next generation of hobbyists. That leads to a career pathway for so many things in STEM, and inspire our youth by allowing them to experience everything that has to do with RC and RC aviation. So at the entrance, the museum will be open to the public. So we will have that available to them. We also have some wonderful presenters up at the front as well. So we have Cabela's will be here, and they're helping with some of the pilot giveaway things, which is awesome. We have drone delivery demonstrations taking place on the west side of the museum. We have the air support unit of the Fort Wayne Police. They have drones that transition to fixed wings. They're demonstrating all of those for us so they can show us, some of the really cool possibilities that many of our members have probably helped develop over time. As we can see in our slide, we have Multi-GP will be here. They'll be doing demonstrations and racing on the south end of the museum. And Lifeline Helicopter, full scale, is coming in to land on the north side of the museum, just to open the helicopter up and let people see what's going on. We do have a paragliding event taking place down near Site 4, and then of course Site 4 is open to model flying. As we move into the center of the property, Site 1 is going to be open to really inspire a lot of that foot traffic that we have coming through. And I'm super optimistic and stoked about the fact that I think we're going to have as many as maybe 1,500 participants throughout the community who are going to have access to the property and see what this amazing hobby can do, for them and their students. The foundation has supported 1.44 million in scholarships since we began, and we just feel like we want to prop that up. So we not only have the community, but we have pilots registered and coming in from all over the entire country. So from both coasts, we know they're registered. So it's gonna be a fantastic day. But at Site 1, we have buddy box flying, we have RC cars, we have the flight sim trailer will be there. So that will be up in full force. It's all new. And then we also have rocket launches, build and fly rocket launch, and we have free flight there. So we have build and fly free flight. That community is going to help us with all of those wonderful things too. And I forgot about this on the pond. We have I'm pretty excited about all of this. We have Try-Me stations. We also have a 15-foot scale replica of the Titanic coming, and I've seen it. It's pretty sweet. I mean, it's detailed out, and that pirate ship will be out there as well. And then as we move down to Site 4, as we said, we have the paramotorists, and we also have RC flying throughout that area for the day. And then we're opening up Reese Airport. We partnered with them. They're going to have an AMA member is flying in his specially outfitted biplane, and those biplanes are available Friday and Saturday, and there will be a fee with that. But he's a wonderful pilot with tens of thousands of hours in full-scale aviation as well as in model aviation. He'll be flying at Site 3, but he'll also be flying those biplanes.
There's so much going on this year, and it's all there's so many new things that are available for members of the community as well as families of folks. You know, this is not just an event for experienced pilots that want to come and fly. This is now truly a family event. And I think you guys have done a great job kind of laying that out for folks and coming up with something that the entire family can enjoy.
Yeah, well, thank you, Matt. You and Lee have been a part of that too. So, but thank you for those props. I will say this little sticker here I want to show. This was inspired by Lee. He asked that we put this together, and so now you have all the pilots will have this, so they can put it on whatever they want to put it on. I'm excited about that. We will have a pilot dinner. So the foundation will be hosting a dinner on Saturday evening for the pilots at Site 3. So that's exciting. Yeah, it's just, you're right. It's there's so many things going on. We just touched on like a little fraction of all of those activities.
Yeah.
We have a speaker series too, I should say, that up at the museum in the McCullough room. And that is a part that's to, inspire the youth. We have women in aviation coming. We have some university speakers will be there. I think the Fort Wayne Air Support Unit will talk about, how the drones use thermal imaging and all of those things. Of course, I'll mention it again. Our vendors and our swap shop will be, in full force on Site 3. I've already, I joked last time, I've started hiding some money away from my wife so I can get over and, get some new things and swap out and try to keep that under the radar from her there. So that's cool. And then RC Roundtable is going to be there. So that's going to be a sweet gig as well.
Who's that? I don't
some
think they're as
guys.
big as you think they are. Yeah, and I'm going to jump in here real quick because for those of you who aren't familiar with the plane that we broadcast about a lot, and that is Plywood Overcast. That is a plane that my buddy Terry Dunn, I think he's in the chat room right now, but he saved it from the perils of a basement. Probably it would have been in trash, but he saved it. We fly it. It is hilarious. And if you can see, this is from about 2 years ago, but we have people fly it and sign it. And we'll be bringing that to Site 3. And we're encouraging everybody, you too, Matt, to get your hands on the buddy box, make a circuit with that, get to sign your name. And we're going to save a spot for that sticker, Steve. That's because it's going to save Plywood Overcast foo at the National Fun Fly. Yep.
I think there's a great spot on that airplane for one of those stickers. I think that's going to make a lot of sense.
I will say we had a hole in our rudder at Joe Knoll, and our buddies at RC Plane Lab had a spare sticker, and we stuck it on there. Problem solved.
Hey, maybe that's why I was flying a little bit out of control with it.
That's it. That's why.
It wasn't the pilot. It was the rudder.
Yeah, the death spin was caused by a little hole in the rudder. Gotcha, Steve.
It sounds like there's going to be tons of stuff going on, and it's really interesting. One of the things that we're going to have new for this year, because there's so much going on, is a way to kind of keep track of all of this. We're going to have an interactive map available for all of the folks joining us for the National Fun Fly. You can pull it up on your mobile device, and it'll point out all the places where anything that you want to go visit is on our IAC campus. If you want to learn where you can go do the Try Me RC boats or the Try Me airplanes, you guys can just pull it up on that map and it'll show you exactly where to go. That was put together by some awesome students at Ball State University that partnered with us earlier this year to help develop this map, and specifically for the National Fun Fly. So we want to give them a shout out over at Ball State University and thank them so much for their hard work on this. Steve, I gotta ask, because there's so much that's gone into this event. What's the thing that you're looking forward to the most here? What are you most excited about as we quickly approach this event?
Yeah, there's a variety of things, but one of the things I really am, I'm super inspired by the fact that we are going to have. I started flying in '68 with my my dad and my brothers, and we were doing control line, free flight, and it's led to so many opportunities. I moved into my full scale pilot's license. It's a private pilot, but it was a passion to get done. And then I never kid about this. I'm serious. I mean, when I got the opportunity to work at the AMA for the foundation, and I could see the things that it was going to do for the community and as far as inspiring youth, I think back to me and I'm like, man, this is a good thing. This really is. And I can see that passion when we talk with our sponsors. So I'm super happy about being on that flight line, Matt, with the other pilots, and the thought in the back of my mind, I'm going to be a kid at heart while I'm out there flying. But then I'm thinking that hopefully we have all those youth here who are going to get inspired by the hobby, and maybe someday they'll get a scholarship, or maybe they'll move on to other things that this hobby led them to, which could make major and significant impacts in the world of aviation as it unfolds over the next few decades.
Yep. Yeah, we had a question in the chat from Stuart Morrison asking if there was anything special going on for control line. I believe we're having some control line activities. Is that correct?
That is correct. We have a section set up at Site 3. I believe it's Site 1. I'm sorry. At Site 1, specifically for control line, and you'll be able to bring out and go through those things. It's marked, as you can see on our interactive map, all about that. So come out and visit. I think that the name escapes me off the top of my head here, but who's coordinating that. There will be opportunities for kiddos and others to go out there and actually experience control line.
I think it's pretty much set up that we've got the ability for anyone to be able to come and try any of the major disciplines in our hobby, the control line, free flight, and RC. So we're really excited. I'm trying to think of an event that we've had in the past where we've had that ability to have all three of those major disciplines having the ability, if for someone who's never done any of this before, to walk up and be able to try one for the first time and let them kind of discover that joy of flight that I think we've all experienced the first time that we were able to take part in model aviation. So I tell you honestly, that's one of the more exciting things that I'm looking forward to, is being able to see these first time experiences for the general public to be able to try these things out.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's going to be a really awesome opportunity for them.
Let's talk about the sponsors for a second, because of course an event like this it wouldn't be possible without some amazing support from some incredible companies and organizations from around the country. Steve, do you want to touch on our sponsors and who we have that we'd like to thank for helping put this event on?
Oh yeah. So our title sponsor is Dubrow, and we thank them greatly for everything they do for us. but we also thank, all of our sponsors. I mean, it's a community, right? We are a community. We work together. We come together. We try to promote and inspire together. We make dream. I look at it like it's dreams come true. I go back to, I'm here. I'm in this office at the AMA, man. It's like a dream come true, and I'm sincere about that. And it's just, I think all of those sponsors working together make that happen for us here. We couldn't do it without them. So we really do want to thank them. And for the pilot giveaway, I mean, if you were here last year, it was a time, and it's going to be bigger and better this year. So, we encourage you to get out here. Many of the sponsors will be here. We want to highlight them when you come out, meet them, talk with them. And yeah, they're fantastic. So thank you for that, Matt.
Yeah, and many of those sponsors, they are sponsoring this event. Of course, they often sponsor a lot of events that we have here at the IAC, and it's stuff that we couldn't do without their support. So we appreciate each and every one of them. You can see them all there on your screen now. If you go to the website for the National Fun Fly, which is amafunfly.com, you can see all of those sponsors listed there as well as links to all their websites. So you can, in turn, support them back for supporting such a great event in this community. So we thank them so much.
And definitely hit up that swap shop. I mean, there's going to be some amazing things there as well. So
the swap shop is always the popular spot at the National Fun Fly. It seems like there's always some great deals to be had, and get there early because that stuff gets sold pretty quick.
Yeah, and I should thank our own Aaron Dobbs for putting those vendors together and the sponsors. That wasn't me. I don't have those kind of skills, but she brings all that together and coordinates it in the swap shop. And so, again, it's teamwork here at the AMA. It's fantastic people to work with internally that bring all this together.
Absolutely. Well, again, guys, amafunfly.com. Registration is open now. If you want to come be part of the event, if you want to fly, you can go register. And it's going to be a great time. That, again, I don't even think we've said the dates. June 28th through the 30th. So it's coming up in just a few weeks. Again, here at the International Air Modeling Center. There's another question that just came in. Is there RV parking on site for the Fun Fly? There is, but I feel like somebody told me that we're sold out. Do you have any information on that?
That I don't know. I know we were getting close to being sold out. I think, and you'll have to help me out here, Matt, if they could go, if you go to the registration site, you can check to see if there's RV spots still available.
So if you go to modelaircraft.org/camping, that's our camping portal, and you can plug in the dates for that. And if we have any spots left available, you'll be able to see that there. I don't think it'll tell you that on the Fun Fly website itself. And please do go check, because I might be wrong. I might have been misinformed or misheard. Hey, I forget things really easily, so my memory is really bad. So don't take my word for it. Go check out the camping portal to find out for sure. But I wouldn't waste time, because if they haven't sold out, I would imagine it's getting pretty darn close. Now
see,
yes.
What I'm going to suggest, if you're an RV guy and it is sold out, don't let that stop you. Go find another RV spot you can in Muncie, and then spend all day Saturday out there, and then head back to your site, because it'll be a blast. You don't want to miss it. So, I'm staying at a hotel nearby, and I'll be using my car to shuttle myself back and forth. I'm leaving my trailer there at Site 3, because that's where we'll mainly be situated. But I know a lot of people who are also doing the same thing. So make sure you just come out and have a good time with us.
And there's plenty of room for primitive camping too. We've got lots of primitive camping locations. If for those that may not have an RV but still want to come and camp, you can absolutely come and do that as well. Well, I'm looking forward to it, certainly. I know Lee is as well. I'm excited to see Lee, Terry, and Fitz out here and spend some time with those guys. I know I'm going to be around taking some photographs. I know that Bryce is going to be around, our producer here on the show. He's going to be getting some video of things going on as well. It's going to be so much fun. You guys do not want to miss out. This is a brand new fun fly, as it were, is how I'm kind of looking at it.
Revamped.
Yeah.
Remodeled, revamped. Yeah. It's going to be huge.
It's huge.
Steve, is there anything else that you want to share with our viewers today about the National Fun Fly before we let you go?
Well, yeah, I will say there are new things. There will be some surprises. I said in the RC Roundtable interview that, I've been a builder myself for quite some time. I am building what I think will be the first of its kind.
Building.
The first of its kind.
I love you, Steve. I love you. Gotta brag on you there.
Lee knows what I'm talking about, but I my first small scale, which was about 9 inches, did fly, and it was in the air for maybe 15 seconds. But if you come check it out, if nothing else, it'll be worth a great laugh.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, come out and come enjoy the laugh with Steve.
Now listen, if memory serves, the Wright brothers' first flight wasn't up in the air for much more than that, and I believe that's considered a flight, Lee.
Yeah.
Okay. Just be there with your camera, Matt. That's all I ask.
You got it. Make sure to let me know when it's happening. I want to make sure to catch it.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to let everybody know.
Join us, everybody. Invite your friends. Tell your families. Bring more members. Let's pack this place and make this one to remember. That's all I got.
That's perfect,
absolutely.
Man.
Absolutely, we love it. Thank you, Steve, so much for joining us today on the show. And be sure to watch out for Steve on June the 28th, 29th, and 30th here at the National Fun Fly at the International Air Modeling Center right here in Muncie, Indiana. We hope to see you guys here. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today, sir.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.
See you, Steve. I'm looking forward to it, Lee. I think it's going to be an absolute blast. It's been a long time since we've had an event really of this magnitude here at the IAC. It's got AMA Expo feels, to a certain degree. So I'm really excited. It's going to be a good time.
And sadly, I got to see the last expo of each end of the United States. We're at the last New Jersey, when their last. Where was it in California?
Pomona was
Pomona,
the last year. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm excited, and you know what? There might be some snafus here and there, but you know what? That's how you make it better. But
right.
To me, it feels like everybody's going to flow in, especially the visitors will flow into the entrance, see what's happening there, move over to Site 1, do the RC simulator stuff, do the buddy box, and then head over to Site 3, and then just be wowed by all the stuff that's coming out there.
You know what I'm actually, and this is the part that not a lot of people's talking about that I'm actually kind of pumped for, is the RC boats. I don't know if you spent any time messing around with RC boats. I've got to do some RC sailboats once. So our museum director, Michael Smith, is very adept at the RC boating and the RC sailboat specifically. And I got to go out with him one afternoon and try to make my way around some of the buoys that we had set up. And it's really hard, but it's a lot of fun. So I'm excited about checking out the boats.
Well, there you go. I mean, we posted this on our Facebook page, and this is one that we're looking forward to seeing. It's huge.
It's a schooner.
It's a big boat, and there it is in front of HQ. So it was getting its test run out in front of the pond there. So guys, look for that boat on the Saturday to be run about. It's currently sitting in dry dock at the museum, but it's an award-winning, we'll say that, build, and I'm looking forward to seeing that too.
I also can't wait to see that 15-foot Titanic.
Yeah, that too. I've been told by Steve that it has a special feature. I'll just let you think in your head what that might be. I don't know, but that's what I heard. So see your glasses, but again, come see the show, folks.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like I probably know what it is.
There you go. I won't ruin it for you.
Yeah, I won't ruin it either. Can't wait for that. So, moving on. Speaking of June.
Oh boy, they haven't got the joke yet. I'll take it from here. Speaking of, it's National Safety Month. If only they sailed in June, right? If only. It is National Safety Month. I just want to add a quick blurb here. We like for everybody to be safe. I'll make this short and sweet, but there are just some basic ideas to play it safe in this hobby, folks. Number one, stay hydrated out there. It's summertime, it's hot, and we've had our incidences with some folks out there who just don't think they need more water, but they do. Wear your sunscreen and wear your hat. Remember to reapply. Guys, the weather is just questionable. If you think the weather is questionable, don't risk yourself in your airplane. It's not worth it. Just wait for another day. Bring a first aid kit or make sure your club has one. And don't forget to charge your phone, because that's a helpful device to call people if you have an emergency. Fly with others. It's more fun, but also if there is an incident, you can work together, make sure people are taken care of, and above all, fly safely. Don't be dumb. Don't try to see how far your plane can fly while it's on fire or something like that. No, just take off, have a good time, land safely, make sure all the parts are put away, make sure everything's turned off, make sure all batteries are disconnected. Guys, it is a safety month, but it's really a safety year. It's a safety life. So be careful out there and take this list at heart today and print it out. There you go. Take a snapshot of that and try to practice it. Anything you want to add?
Well, just so much of that I feel like is common sense. And I know I'm guilty of this. Sometimes things that should be common sense, I don't think about, and I don't put them in the forefront of my mind, and can take some of that for granted. And I think it's important, this month to shine a light on some of that stuff and say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna drink a little bit more water this time around, because, again, guilty. I'm bad. I'm bad about that sort of thing, and I know a lot of you are too. So this I think this is a great list of things to keep in mind for folks participating in our hobby, and it's important to keep all that stuff in mind when we go out to the flying field.
What I'll add, because you just made me think of this, Matt, is you think about yourself staying hydrated. Bring extra water just in case. Just in case that other guy you're flying with forgot his. So not a hard thing to do. Just toss another water bottle in there, toss another jug, just to be on the safe side. So anyway, thanks, guys.
Something that I always do kind of along those same lines, there was one bit in there, make sure your phone's charged, right? I've gotten into a habit where I rarely leave the house without a battery backup that I can plug into. That's good for, I can plug my phone into it, of course, or somebody else can plug their phone into it if they didn't charge their phone. But there's a whole host of devices you could plug in and charge via those battery backups now. I've got like a 10,000 milliamp hour pack. I've got a 20,000 milliamp hour pack. Those things are just invaluable in situations when you need them. You're glad you have them.
Yeah.
And I know there's some solar powered ones out there now too that I've actually been looking at and thinking about getting, but
I add that because I've run into many people and my kids who've let their phones drain, and they're vital for communication, but you can also check the weather. You can also, you can actually check the UAS data map, make sure you're not flying in a TFR, stuff like that. So again,
And when you're out in the middle of nowhere where there's not a lot of reception, it's amazing how quickly those batteries can drain, even if it was charged to begin with. So anyway, I'm off my soapbox. Thank you, Lee, for sharing those tips with us. Again, June is National Safety Month, so take those tips and
practice being safe.
Deploy them at your club field or your flying site. It'll be worth your while. Lee, let's talk about a little aeroport, I guess is actually what it's called, out in around San Diego, California. It's called Torrey Pines. We've got a story that we wanted to share with folks today. Do you want to give them a little toss into this video package?
I can, but I mean, the video will speak for itself, and I think I'll leave it at that. There's an event in Torrey Pines. This is a YouTube video that came across that was shared with us from a channel, a news station out there, and enjoy. If it's going to play. Oh, there's no audio. And there's ads. We'll put the link in the chat room. So that's okay. There is an event out at Torrey Pines, and this is it's like a memorial, but also a nice anniversary gift. I mentioned it at the beginning that the Hobie Hawk, a glider that's both good for slope soaring and thermal soaring, celebrated its 50th anniversary. And in my field of flying gliders, and of course participating in ads, the Hobie Hawk is one of those top models you hear about. The Aquila, I say the Golden Eagle, that's mine. But the Olympic, stuff like that. There are aircraft that are just cherished, and the Hobie Hawk is one of them. And by the way, it is quite cherished in the resale market too, because they usually go for over $500. But this event that happened at Torrey Pines was also the Katie Martin International Tribute, which I think has been going on for about 14 years, give or take the COVID spell. And her favorite airplane was the Hobie Hawk. So her husband, Bob Martin, who was in fact a modeler, resale modeler, and I have a little slideshow here if you give me a second.
I think we've got the video ready to go now. I think we're going to try it again. If you want to try to, we'll try to throw to that one more time, and then we'll check out those photos when we come back on the backside.
You got it.
Flying event was held today at Torrey Pines to celebrate and remember Katie Martin. The annual event is put on by her husband Bob. Together, the couple is well known in the local flying community. Photojournalist Chris Hansen takes us there.
Hey, launching. This tribute is to my wife who passed away in 2010. It's an annual event here at Torrey Pines, and we have people from all over the country and world champions and stuff that are here to fly in the memorial flight.
And it's just been a really cool thing because Katie Martin and her husband Bob here have done probably more than any other couple to advance the the hobby of slope soaring.
It's actually very special that all these people still come out and memorialize her.
This year we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Hobie Hawk, and the Hobie Hawk is the airplane that will be flown that has some of her ashes in the nose for the memorial.
I flew at the first memorial that they had for, and I get to fly it again today, and I get to fly Katie today. So that's an honor.
It's been a big deal, and it's really special. The fact that the first glider she had was a Hobie Hawk, and this sort of kind of morphed into a get together for people with Hobie Hawks. And today, to this month of June, is the 50th anniversary of the Hobie Hawk being released. So it's kind of a special day.
So Bob was the last one to manufacture the Hobie Hawk, and it was all because he got involved because of his wife Katie's interest in the Hawk. And so she loved the airplane, and we're all here to celebrate Katie.
This is just really nice. This is a great turnout for Bob. He's a very special man.
I'm honored that people show up and pay tribute to my wife. Like I said, I think over the last 10 years or so that we've spread the word, and there are other Katie tributes happening around the world that have picked up and followed by what we're doing. So that makes me very happy.
Such a cool event. Photojournalist Chris Hansen with that.
What a cool event that they've got going on out there. It's touching. It's just really important, I think, for the folks that fly out there at Torrey Pines to have that sort of an event and to be able to pay tribute in that kind of way.
I'm trying to figure out why my page is not coming up. I think I got it now. There we go. So, as I mentioned, it's been around for 50 years. And if you see the bottom left-hand corner, I've had a Bob Martin Super Gryphon. So that was cool, but I don't live near slopes here in Houston. So just a quick story. I modified
it's
mine
flat out there in Texas, is it not?
It's pretty flat. But I put a brushless motor. I put a geared motor on my Gryphon. I got it to fly until the wing snapped. So I have been able to kind of get a slope soarer in the air here in Houston. But going back, the Hobie Hawk is just a beautiful plane. You'll hear about it in the glider community. This was taken several years ago of the same group that celebrates not only the Hobie Hawk, but of course Katie Martin. I think that's Bob there in the center. And I got to add, this was cool. I had talked to my buddies, Terry and Fitz has one. And what's unique, he got this secondhand, but there was in fact a carrying case for these models, and he got his case as well. Now, he's never flown this. He probably paid a good chunk of change for it, but that's just kind of neat that he has one of the original Hobie Hawks, and wanted to do a shout out for that.
Obviously, it goes without saying, what a cool airplane. I love the carrying case that he's got for that. How cool is that? And the vintage AMA logo on the front of that. Wow, love that as well. Very cool.
Yeah.
Thanks Fitz for sharing that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, and I also want to thank the folks out at Torrey Pines and that put on the Katie Martin International Tribute Fly-In for sharing that story with us, and for them, being able to spread the news about that event, because it's very, very cool. Torrey Pines is one of those legendary sites in the U.S. For air modelers that, it's kind of up there. It's one of the top places that everybody wants to go visit and go fly in. I would love to go visit Torrey Pines sometime soon. I know that's you're a soaring guy at heart, Lee, and I know that's got to be at the top of your bucket list.
It is on a bucket list. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten several knocked off since working with the AMA. So Joe Nall, check. Yeah. Seth, check. AirVenture. Well, I did that before, but check because I've been doing it with the AMA. And so yes, Torrey Pines would be a great adventure to go out there and hang out with those guys.
Of course, Torrey Pines was named a National Air Modeling Historic Landmark back in 2003, the first of those that have been named. Torrey Pines is always one of those top-level sites that we hold in high esteem in our community. So we appreciate them for all the work that they're doing out there. Let's move over to the Nats. Of course, you guys know that the Nats are coming up. We're right about a month away from the start of the indoor Nats, I think. Somebody's going to correct me on that. I'm sure I'm going to get in trouble if I was wrong. But the Nats registration is open, as we've mentioned in the past. Yes, actually, sorry. You know what? I was right. We are exactly a month away. That's how I should have led this, Lee. What am I doing? We are exactly 1 month away from the start of the Nats, July 7th through August 9th. And you can go to modelaircraft.org/Nats for more information. If you want to register for a Nats event, you can do so there as well. We've got the schedule there on the screen and on the website as well for you to take a look at. It's going to be a great time. We are quickly approaching the 100th running of the National Air Modeling Championships in just a few years. So come be part of all the excitement as we gear up for Nats season right here at the International Air Modeling Center, as well as our indoor event that's over in Moscow, Idaho, rather. Excuse me. So it's going to be a good time. Lee, I know you're not coming to the Nats this year, but you were here last year. Do you have any words of wisdom for folks that might be thinking about their first trip to the Nats?
You just go. You just go. You have a great time. And if you have kids, bring them, because I had a blast with my son. And yes, he did kick my butt. We all said that. I've said it several times, but he loves hearing that. But I can't tell you how much fun it was for me to meet my friends out there. Scott Black, if you're listening, I really appreciate all your friendship there to help us get into the pace of the event, because we were really green. But guys, if you just have an interest, you can also just go and watch. There's nothing keeping you from watching the events as well as a spectator. Yeah. So please consider doing that. And that's by the way, if you're thinking of competing and you're not 100% sure, go there to watch, talk to the people out there, prepare for yourself next year.
Absolutely. Again, modelaircraft.org/Nats if you want to have some more information on this year's National Air Modeling Championships. Lee, let's talk about the Club of the Month for the month of June, shall we?
Happy to. Got to pull all my screens together here because we were just having so much fun now.
I know.
There we go. So this month, our Club of the Month is the Hernando County RC Club in Florida. But what we wanted to celebrate is this club just earned their gold leader status. And I do have some other pages here that I can show, but I wanted to congratulate them. They do have this is what speaks to me. I mentioned AirVenture earlier, and I'm not sure if I can pull the screen here. I guess you can, yeah. So it says here, for the second year, they've partnered with a local EAA chapter. And this speaks to me because when we go to AirVenture as the AMA, we support EAA's Build and Fly program, where we try to get the Young Eagles programs that are working with local EAA chapters to build model aircraft, fly them. And some of them, many of them, actually fly at AMA clubs to do their training so that they can see what it's like to fly a model airplane and then step up to the next level, which is in fact build a real airplane. And what's neat about the Blue Barn at AirVenture is that there are planes that they have built. Some people bring them in and put them on display. These are planes that, young pilots have built. So the fact that this club works with them speaks to me. I think that's another reason why I chose them. And it's great because every AMA club out there, you should check with your local EAA chapter to see if this is a program you can help. I've had dozens of conversations with folks, both the chapters and the AMA clubs, that have shared wonderful stories of getting youth involved in model aviation with this Build and Fly program. So they have tons of events, and this is where I think I gotta remove this screen because I have to go to a window for you. You'll love this. What do we always talk about that you like about a club of the month? What's your favorite thing?
They've got a great website.
That is correct. So let me see if I got this up here. Yeah. If I get them right, there we go. Look what they did on their website already. So thanks, guys. I did this for Matt. But no, guys, this is a very active website. I love that they have it. They also have an active Facebook page, which is where, in fact, I got these photos from because they are very active. I love that their members are constantly posting photos of things that they do. But what I also wanted to point out were the events that they host. They host a lot. They have this great calendar. God, look at the events they do all year, Matt. Just tons of fun flies. They have like a Flag Day, this is the Memorial Day Fun Fly and Barbecue. Hello, I'm in. I'm coming.
Same.
I'm coming over. I mean, any barbecue fun fly, sign me up. They do a swap meet that's in fact coming up next week, I believe, June 15th. But they do some dawn patrols, but they do celebrate a lot of holidays. Kudos to you guys. But, and it's not just for members only. They do have events that are sanctioned and open to the public. So, guys, you guys did a great job, and congratulations on your gold leader status, because that's very proud. And I'm not sure if I can pull this page up. I'm going to have to get out of this screen and re-add this one. Sorry about that. But some people might ask, what is a gold leader club? And I have the page somewhere right here. Here we go. So, is it command? Sorry, my fault. So this is where you can go to learn about how to be a gold leader club. And if you, I'm going to pull the link on here. Excuse me, right here. I'm going to put it in the chat. It's there right now. But this is a great way to, represent your club as someone who's really pushing the hobby. And as you can see here, you've been chartered for 5 years. It's open to all AMA members. Develop a safety and operational rules. You should have that already. And,
yes.
I love that it says separate areas for spectators and so forth, so you can have people come watch. It's not very difficult, but it sure is a great status to share with other people. And the badge looks great, too, when you go to search for clubs in your area. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely it does.
So the link's in there.
I got to say, these guys are not far from my old stomping grounds. I used to live over in Orlando. It looks like they're just off to the west of there. So, congratulations to the Hernando County RC Club. It's great to see a club being so active and doing so much good things in their community. And so we're really excited to have them as Club of the Month this month.
Yeah, and again, I told you they're active, right? Look, this was taken yesterday. They got a new storage container. If you guys are the hobby, storage containers are awesome. It's a great place to put your stuff and store it, mowers and tools and all that jazz. So congratulations, guys. It looks like your club's really coming along, and I wish you guys the best of luck.
Absolutely. If you guys want to learn more about our Club of the Month this month, or any Club of the Month in the past, you can go to modelaircraft.org/clubs to learn more about our Club of the Month program. It's also time to talk about our iFly AMA Facebook group and the cover photo for the month of June. Of course, if you have not yet joined our iFly AMA Facebook group. Head over to facebook.com/groups/iFlyAMA and click that join button, answer a couple of questions. We make sure you're not a robot, and we'll let you come join the conversation with so many amazing like-minded hobbyists here in our group. And one of the great things that we do every single month is we swap out our cover photo for the Facebook group to one that is submitted by one of you, that's voted on by the community. And today we're going to show off the June cover photo for the iFlyAMA Facebook group. Lee, who's our winner for the month of June?
Tommy Boy. You may not like that. Tom Tabor, congratulations. We've been chatting on Facebook Messenger, but Tom, congratulations. He was very excited. But I have some fun to add with this photo, Matt, and you'll enjoy it.
Okay.
The photo is great. My first question was this photoshopped? I asked him. He said, no, this was not photoshopped. The plane flown behind him was his friend Jeremy, and the person who photographed it was Kyler. And although you may not remember those names, both Jeremy and Kyler have won in the past. Kyler is Jeremy's son. And so, like, the first photo we had was Kyler flying. Then the next photo was Jeremy's flight. So Tom flies with them all the time, and they happen to get this photo together. Jeremy's doing a pass while Tom's holding his plane, and Kyler's taking the photo. So it took 3 guys to put this together, and they said they did this in one take. So congratulations. It's definitely worthy of a cover photo. And you guys look like you have a lot of fun, and it's just great to see how active our community is, because he's, like he said, he flies with them almost every weekend. So guys, it's that easy. Go hang out with your friends, take some photos. You could have your photo up here on the Facebook page.
Look, I'm not doubting that was done in one take, but I am impressed.
Would you be more impressed if it was a Sony camera? Well, then you would really be on board if it was a Sony camera.
Well, no, because that would have made it easy.
Oh.
I kid. Congratulations to all 3 of you guys.
Exactly.
For submitting a great photo and getting the coveted prize of the cover photo for the month of June. Of course, we'll be holding another cover photo contest for the month of July. So be sure to get your entries submitted. There's a pinned post at the top of the Facebook group. Again, facebook.com/groups/iFlyAMA is how you get there. And we look forward to seeing if your photo makes it to the cover photo for next month. So get those submissions in.
Please.
We want to close out the show today with a really cool story of a brand new addition to the National Model Aviation Museum that is, I think it's only been over there for like 2 weeks at this point. I think it's really, really new, and I think this all came together pretty quickly. This is officially, I was told, again, I might have been misinformed, but I'm pretty sure this is accurate. This is the oldest airplane that we have in the National Model Aviation Museum. We have some airplanes that are reproductions of older airplanes, but this is the oldest actual physical airplane that we have in the National Model Aviation Museum. This is from 1911. It's a Blériot model airplane. It was built circa 1911. By Fuad Jirwan and used by his brother Shakir, chief pilot and instructor at the Moisant School of Aviation in Garden City, New York, for his lectures on the art of flying. I love history, Lee. I think we've talked about this before. I'm a big history buff. Anytime I get to see in person something that has been around for this long, you've gotten my attention. I mean, what are your thoughts on this amazing piece of history that we have in the museum now?
Well, first off, don't sneeze around it. I'm just
Please.
so glad that you guys got to see it when it was out from under glass. I mean, just to being able to see so close. There's a picture that Bryce photographed here a second ago that the details on it are amazing. But just think, this thing is over a century old.
Yeah.
And that is amazing that we have this in our collection, and we will certainly enjoy sharing with everybody who comes to the museum, which, remember, the museum will be open for the Fun Fly. It's also open during NATS. So if you guys are coming to either of those, please take a moment to come see this. There's great kits all over the museum, but this is such a wow, what a rare opportunity for us.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, to say this is a one-of-a-kind situation might be an understatement. If I could,
look at that.
If I could bring this full circle, Lee, this was built the same year as the very first Indianapolis 500.
Well, all right, let's get them involved.
You're welcome for that full circle, as we like to call it here in the business. But yeah, if seriously though, if you guys are planning a trip to the National Model Aviation Museum or the IAC, you're going to want to check this out. This is an incredible, one-of-a-kind artifact that we now have under our roof here at the National Model Aviation Museum. It is super cool. It's an incredible piece of history, and I hope all of you get to come and enjoy it sometime in the very, very near future.
I'm going to add my little, not an Indy reference, not an Indy 500 rose, but when I went to Broadhead in Wisconsin before AirVenture in 2017, I got to see this Blero. This is a replica of a 1909 11 series. But
wow.
Man, this thing is amazing. And when I saw the model you guys had, it's just neat to see that someone has built one that actually flies. This was when it was being redone, but there are YouTube videos of this aircraft, of it flying at Broadhead. And it's amazing. Just look at that. So it is neat to see this and then also see the model. I'm going to quick cut to there you go. Just neat to see those two. And that's passion so cool. Right there. That we kept this model alive and that there are people who are keeping the actual aircraft alive.
Yeah, I mean, to me, and I talk to Michael Smith about this, every so often. When we have objects that come in that are that old, yeah, it's cool. It's incredible that in 1911 they could put that kind of detail into something like that would actually fly, but. To me, it's even more incredible that it's survived for 113 years. It's a testament to the folks that it ended up being basically caretakers of that model for over a century, and it's so amazing that we get to now enjoy that here at our museum, and that so many people can come in and check it out and get to enjoy it as well. And it's thanks to all those caretakers that we're able to keep it intact and in one piece for, again, 113 years. That's a long time, boys and girls.
I'm about to throw Bryce under the bus or give him more work, but no, this is good stuff. But Bryce, this would be a great model vault, correct?
It would. It would
so,
be.
Just saying, Bryce
wrong.
We have these great model vaults that Bryce has put together on our YouTube channel. We also put them on our Facebook page for the National Model Aviation Museum. But these are historic, or basically revamps of videos we've done in the past. But this one deserves an awesome model vault history, and I can't wait for Bryce and Michael to get together.
Yeah, there's a little inside baseball. We'll let you guys in a little bit that we're on currently a mid-season break for model vaults, so we're not putting out any new ones yet. But we are currently planning new ones, and we're going to be producing new ones here shortly, and we're going to be rolling those out in the fall. I think we're going to be starting to roll new ones out. And yeah, I think you're right. I think this needs to probably be at the top of that list. So we'll
looking forward to it.
Good. Producer Bryce, you can make a note of that. And we'll talk to Michael and get the details. But yeah, again, guys, if you're planning a trip up this way, make a stop at the museum and check out this brand new addition to the National Model Aviation Museum. You will not be disappointed. Well, Lee, I think that brings us to the end of the show. Do you have anything else that you want to add before we wrap this puppy up?
See you in 3 weeks.
Indeed, we will see you in 3 weeks at the National Fun Fly. Again, amafunfly.com if you want to learn more about that event. If you want to register to be a pilot, you can come and fly at the National Fun Fly. It's going to be a great time. We want to thank you guys also for watching today. live here on AMA Air. And even those of you that watched after the fact, we thank you as well. We couldn't do any of this without all of your support. If you are not yet a member of the Academy of Model Aeronautics, we would encourage you to go check us out at modelaircraft.org/join. You can learn all the things that the AMA could do for you. And we hope to see you as part of our AMA family very, very soon if you're not already. And for those of you who are members, we thank you so much for your support. And we would appreciate it for those of you who did watch today and are watching later to like, share, comment, subscribe, all of those things that they tell you to do on the social medias. We could do all that stuff right down below. We'd appreciate it if you did that. That would help us out tremendously. And we're just here to help you guys out. So we appreciate that support that you can give us. Lee, thank you so much for joining us here today. Again, we'll see you in 3 weeks here at the IAC. We're looking forward to you and the rest of the RC Roundtable. And
I was going to say, for those of you watching, listening, stay tuned on all our social media channels. We'll be broadcasting videos likely live on YouTube. And if not, we'll do some live reels or stories as well. So check your Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channels. We'll be there reporting live from the Fun Fly on that Saturday.
You betcha. And for all you guys watching, thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you out at the flying fields later on this month. For all of us here at the AMA, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next episode of AMA Air. We'll see you then.